Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another great edition of Awesomecallstrading.com. I want to welcome you to the daily recap webinar on today is April 15th, 2019. It is tax day. It's the day everyone has to turn in their tax returns. Oh, I'll tell you, in the morning, it kind of was a little bit sluggish. We had good plays, no question, like Five, Spot, Boeing, Netflix, um, Boom, ACMB were good. The mods were just on fire today. I'll tell you, the trade with the group that we had today from Jenny, Darkside, Fire, B Trades, Dave the Trader, Raphael. I mean, everyone had their pick today. But it started with the list. Of course, we always have to put a list together for you because it's imperative that when you walk into the room that, for me as the owner of Awesome Calls Trading, I spend hours. I'm up at 3:30, 3:45, and I just focus in on I'm just trying to find you 12 solid trades. I focus on the top 10, and then I'll look at maybe one or two that I feel are going to make a solid move on top of the 10 that I gave. What's interesting is, I've been doing this for in the chat room for 6 years. I've been trading almost 16 now. And when you look at my list every morning, and I do put out a pre-market list of the things that I'm looking at, and then I finalize it when I walk into the room. And it's interesting because a lot of traders in a lot of chat rooms, and the truth is, a lot of them don't know what to trade. I mean, they're all scrambling and they're looking at their what do you call that thing that everyone uses? That scan that everyone uses. I forgot the name of it now. Because I never use it. But there's a scan out there everyone uses, and it just shows you the gap up and gap downs, but never the reason for it. It just kind of just shows you, oh, this is a gap, this is a gap, and for me, I think it's trading ideas, right, or something like that, and TI, and for me, I just I have to look at the reason behind each gap, what the move is, and again, I have to go through a scenario of price targets from, $2 stocks, $8 stocks, $20 stocks, $30 stocks, 60, 80, 100, 400. And this is what I do. I mean, I can't, because we have so many different type of traders in the room that each of them like a certain price target that they like to trade. I have the small cap accounts where they like to trade that $1 to $5 to $10 stock that they can size in and so forth. And I have the $20 stocks and so forth. But what makes our list so interesting is just the in-depth analysis on each idea. And I always keep preaching this when I do these webinars over and over and over is, if the more you know why a stock's going to move up or down, the more size you will take and the confidence you will have will be second to none. It's what makes you money. And I'm going to start with a stock that right now is really hot that I saw this morning, and I made it number 6 on the list. It was called Jamia. Now, Jamia was an IPO that debuted on Friday, and it made a pretty decent move. But today, it caught my attention because it was gapping up to 28. When I saw that, I felt the stock would have room actually to $36 today. So it made my list, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay. I wanted a quick push, then a sell-off, bottom curl, and then a move to 36. I was really eyeing that once it got going. If it popped, I wanted it to pull 2 or 3 points. If it bottom curled, I wanted it to go to 36. Well, this thing hit 40. I mean, it's 39.95 was the top. I mean, 4 points higher than what we thought. I walked in the room from break and started taking it in at 33 and 34. I was only playing 500 shares. I made some money. Then I sold 250, 250, and then I went in again with 100 shares, and I sold, I think it was 35 or 36, and then it ran almost to 40. When I couldn't get back in it, I grossed about $318 on it, and I'm happy with that trade. Again, because it's just part of the other trades that I did, because I did Netflix, I did Boeing, I did some Five, I lost on ADS. I did some, I think it was Fun. Was it Fun? No, ASMB. I played some BPTH today. Most of my stuff on my list. Right now, Jemiah it was on my list to hit 36 and more. And I'll show you why. Whenever you have an IPO, and see, like, this is the move the room is playing now. If you go to Twitter and punch up JMIA with a $sign in front of it, you could tell our room is all over it from right here, from 33 on. When I walked in and broke through that flag, it was gone. And this is kind of like what we've been playing right here together in the room. So you're going to see a lot of tweets from actual traders that made money, not people that watch. In here, we don't watch, we trade it. This is the difference between our room and all the others, is that we're involved in the trade. And it doesn't mean we have to go in with 1,000 shares or 800 shares, 2,000 shares. I mean, if you want to, yeah, the risk is there. You could lose $4,000 in a blink. But for me, the highest risk I'm going to do is 500 shares, because the spreads are around 20 to 30 cents. So you can imagine you're only going to be down 150 the minute you click it, and you just have to wait for the move, and you got to sell into it on a market order. And never do limit orders. You'd be foolish to do on something like this, in my opinion. You got a market order in, market order out, because you want to catch these moves as they push up. See, as soon as they push up, you can get a great feel, because everyone's buying the stock and you're selling into their buys. And so great group trade effort, everything. But the reason why it caught my eye is because I saw this move into close yesterday on Friday, and I realized that the stock was making a substantial move, and then this morning it capped up. So this told me that there was some interest in the stock, and then it moved all the way up to 28. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? If I can kind of push this at the open and gap fill this at least to close to this area here, and I start to see that bottom curl and break out, which the breakout is clearly at 28, then I want to long the stock. Now, I was on break during this whole time, so I believe the chat room was already involved with Dark Side and Janny probably on the mic guiding. But where I came in was right here, and I just saw this get ready to ignite, and it was on. And that's why you see quite a few tweets going out. But the reason why I liked it is because whenever in the past historics of IPOs that I've traded, when I trade an IPO like this and I see this gap up and it's thinly up, chances are a stock will automatically, normally it will make another move to the upside. And since it's a very thin stock and shorts are hard to find, it's just a pure squeeze and pure momentum. And I love momentum IPOs where they just go crazy and take off for no really reason. And in my days before, I used to be standoffish on this kind of stuff, because I'd be like, you know what, I can't do it. Now I've realized over the last couple of years, if you can either be a bystander or you could be a guy who makes money in it. And I choose to be the trader that makes money in it, because now I understand when it's in momentum and it's going to make a move, that I want to be a part of that. So again, my idea was to go to 36, and clearly you can see it past that. Dark Side has a target of 41.36, I believe, if I scroll up. 40 looks like, to me, of a topping, but just an absolutely beautiful play. I mean, you could have been red all morning and walked into the room in the mid-afternoon and just go long a stock, 250 shares, and grab a point and a half for $400 and go back to bed or go back to work. I mean, that's just how beautiful being in this room is. I mean, just the momentum, and I saw it. I was excited. I was actually kind of loud, but wouldn't you? Just a magnificent trade. I was really happy with it. I'm glad that people got some of that. The next trade that we did was, we could do quite a bit. Let's start with Boom or Netflix. Gosh, I could go pick any one. Let's try with Spot first. Okay. Now Spotify was going to get hit today. It was gapping down a few points, and the reason why it was going to get hit today is because Spotify was going to it's got some competition with Amazon on their Alexa. They're going to do some streamlining on themselves, and they're really emphasizing more. I believe Amazon already has some sort of streamline for their music for Alexa, but they're actually wanting to expand on it, and that's not good for Spotify. However, as I pointed out in pre-market, Spotify does have a base, and if you pull up a 20-day chart, typically on this one, I think I did a 10-day chart. 137 seems to be a base they hold, and I'll show you a 20-day chart right here. And I even showed a 180, I think. But I was looking at a 137 base today that they were going to hold it at right around here, about right here. And I just felt that that would probably be the lowest that they take it. So what I did is I told traders in the room this morning on the gap down, I said, watch for a small pop, I believe to 142 or more, scale in short and take it down to 137. And that was the trade. And quite a few traders took it. And if you want to see my pre-market notes, how I wrote it up right here, Spotify 142, and I wanted to go to 137 and then go long. So if it fades to 137, bottom curl it and go long. And that was the trade for that one. Really good call on that one. Another one I'm going to share with you right now is a stock called Boom. Now, maybe a lot of you didn't trade this today, but Boom was up because they're going to join the S&P 600. And this is something really good for shareholders that hold the stock. And I felt very, very, very strongly that Boom would make a nice move today. Based on that news, and it did. It made a $5 gap up. Now that it's made the gap up, and you closed at 65, the stock is going to come down some. All right, it's great that they made it, and with the market gapping down, 50 points, kind of flat. I felt the stock would probably pop a little, scale in short, and then pull it down. And the reason for it is because it's great they made the S&P 600. So make a note of that. That's awesome. But normally, if you're up $5, you're going to probably give back about 2.5. So what I did is I told everyone in the room, if this stock pops towards 70, go ahead and short it, but you've got to be patient with it because it's an all-dayer, and I'm looking for 67.50. In my opinion, it's nothing more than a pop and fade. Okay, so 70 is the target to the upside. If it goes a little bit more, don't worry. And then 67.50 is to the downside. And that's what I'm looking. I have to give it credit because the investors are happy. It's not going to fully gap fill, but at least give me to 67.50. And I want you to see the stock. All right, this is Boom. And you can see Boom has made an impressive move over the last 15, 20 days as it is. And you can see the stock right now. There's the 70 area that I wanted, and hit 69.91 at the within 20-30 minutes of the opening, and it's heading towards 67.50 now. And you can see it needs to fill this kind of a gap right here. It's up way too much, and I'm looking for about right here to fill 67.50. You see how I drew it across right there, 67.50. That's why I think it should come down to. Okay, so that one is that's Boom. Okay, and as you can see as I'm talking to you, there are people still playing Jemiah in the room to 40, but I just can't. You see how it's getting ready to pop? I mean, you could literally, if you were live in our room, you could take that right there, 100 shares, and you probably end up through 40 to 40.50. I mean, it's got such momentum. And how do I know that? The buyers. Look at the amount of buys, 90,000. And 90,000. It's almost 200,000 shares being bought up at the 38.9 level. And that's pretty impressive. That means that they want more of a push. So, but I'll keep an eye on it, okay? The next stock that we did was ASMB. Now, this was an impressive play. This was a group trade. When I mean group, that means Fire and myself. Fire is one of the great mods in the room, as you know, Fire Trader. And what he showed, what we both looked at was on ASMB was this was down too much. Okay, it was gapping down. Now, again, you got a pretty aggressive gap down from 19, and you're gapping down to what 14 this morning in pre-market. So again, you got to ask yourself the question, why? Why is the stock gapping down? You have to find out first. So, got to go to your scanners. Not ones that just say gapping down. You got to know why it's gapping down. Okay. ASMB was gapping down because of their phase 2 study results. They didn't really impress. Okay, I'm not going to say they failed, but they just didn't impress investors and shareholders. So um, when you kind of miss, I mean, I'm not going to say a full blown miss, but when you miss a little bit on something like this, what happens is your stock is going to get hurt because investors are going to panic and think, oh my gosh. But what you have to understand is when you're in a clinical phase 2 study, all right, you have to understand it's about bios. And I think this will clarify a lot of questions in bios, the bio world, because I trade bios a ton, as you all know. But whenever you have, okay, without going into too much detail to teach these chat rooms, whenever you have a phase 1 and it's a miss and you're going to get a sell-off, you usually buy the dip. And the reason why you buy the dip is because it allows the company, the bio company, to figure out what they did wrong and fix it so they can move on to phase 2. It's just basically, it's like you do a book report and turn it into your college professor, and he whacks it. He says, look, if you take this back and redo it, I'll go ahead and I'll give you a B. Oh, okay. So this is a phase 2. It's a clinical trial. And again, it's a clinical stage trial. And they didn't, I won't say they made primary endpoint, but what they didn't do is they didn't suffice what they were looking for. So it's going to be a pullback, but it's going to be a buying opportunity. Okay, because when it becomes a buying opportunity is when it gets discounted. So you got an $18, $20 stock, and now it's sitting at 14 and 13. To me, that stock is going to at least come back halfway. And that's how I look at these stocks. I kind of gauge it and go, okay. And I look now, if this was primary endpoint not met, and it clearly said that, then I would probably be buying it at 12 or 11 and then pop it to 13, 14. But because this was a clinical study, I felt very strongly the stock would be a bottom out around, I believe I was telling traders to start going long at 14 and add on dips to 13. And that would give you a 13.50 entry. Let me see what I wrote. ASMB right here. Gapping down 5. I would love to see a sell off to 12. I'd libel long right here at 13.78. If it pulls, look for a move to 16. So I've already told traders in the pre-market and the open, start buying at 13.78. If it pulls to 12, don't panic. I know it's a big range, but don't panic. The stock will rebound, most likely to 16. Well, Fire came in the room, as always, as he does, and he's got a lot of following in this great room. And as you can see, here's the long right here at $13.78 per pre-market. I told everyone to start taking, right? $13.78. Then I said, watch a pull if it does. Fire took long right here at 13, correct me if I'm wrong, 37 or 38. So he got in a little bit lower instead of others adding. And sure enough, the stock went all the way up to $15.87. See that move? Now, again, I clarified it would not go all the way and fill the gap. It's not going to do that. You're going to get punished. You have to understand that in bio world, if you don't meet certain criteria, you are going to get punished, but you have to give it, you're not going to sell off all day because you know why? It's a phase 2. They're allowed to go back and fix the problem, which is what they're going to do. So basically, it's like a blue light special. You're buying a stock on a discount. Hence why you can buy 300-400 shares and grab a point or two. And that's what made this trade really nice. A lot of people don't understand that. Okay? But when you're trading bios, you have to get in the mindset of a bio trader, how he looks at stocks. All right? So my idea was to buy the weakness. I did not say short the stock. I did not say that whatsoever. Another trade that we did today, again, was 5. Now, what I liked about 5 was just it's your basic setup, and B of A came out this morning with a $150 price target on a buy rating. Of course, B of A is going to get some acknowledgement. Now, keep in mind, we have been playing this down here when it got the upgrade on, I believe, Thursday. And we've been buyers since 1:30, if you recall. This is the 5 call. And if you remember, we did play 5 here, and I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you. It's right here. All right, I'll show you. 5, 5, last 5. Here's 5. You see it? Now, we played this at 1:30, right? Now, JP Morgan upgraded the stock to 150. So I already told traders to buy the 135, 137, 140 calls. Well, now B of A has come out and said, we want it also at 150. Okay, so now everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. Well, we already made a substantial move for 5 points over the last few days. So today, with the B of A addition, it was going to be another play in the room. So what I did was I told everyone, okay, this is gapping up. And you could see the gap up, and let me show you. This is how you really prepare for the stock. All right? You've got a gap up. Here's your gap. See how you gapped up. I wanted to come down and go long at, I believe, 134.50. Add on dips to 134. Go long and take it right back through the highs. And if you want to look at the notes, if you were patient, again, it's all about patience and understanding the move before the move even happens. This is where trading really becomes an art. If you understand the move before it happens, then you'll make your money. Okay, so look, 5, gapping up 50. It was up almost a point. I'm okay even at 135.50 with room to add on a pullback. So you want to pull it back. Here's where it closed. Now, when the market started to pull, I was pretty much adamant, get the 134s. And I know Brandy was asking me, others were asking me, and I kept feeling, you know what, get the 134s because it looked like that would be the bond. And I'll tell you, when it hit 134 this morning, look what happened. The buyer came in right there. Look at that at 134. You know, and all this was doing was we were trying to fill a gap, but because the market was pulling too aggressive, it actually pulled an extra point. So it gave traders another opportunity to get it in even lower. And as you can see now, it's all the way back up. So even if you took 135.50 and added at 134, your average would be 135, 134.90, and you still would have scored because it's 136. And this is still going to go higher, probably to 137 to 138. The next stock that we did was Fun. Now, Fun was gapping up this morning on just stupid. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. And you know what I mean by stupid? Here's where it closed, $8. But you're gapping up 10.30, and you've hit 11 in pre-market. Why? Why? What are you doing now? And you know what it is? You do the research. You go to scan. You see on Fun on the 15th, right here, 11:15. Let me see where it is. Okay. Fun where signs deal with endpoint. Okay, this was already given. This was already known, hence why it had already made a move. So this is, again, when you get rehash moves like this, I mean, it enters an agreement. I mean, this is pretty much, we kind of already knew that. First, it was a patent, and then it was they're going to be signing an agreement, and you know, it's just it was basically rehash. And to us, a rehash is just stupid. It's just, there's no other word for it. So it's a short again. So it's just a matter of entering your and finding the shares to do it. So Steve B went short at around 1050, 1030, and he pulled it all the way down to, I believe he got a point plus, hit 850, and I do believe the stock should hit around 8, but it looks like they're holding the 850, and I believe it was the number one pick in the room. And Steve loves to go after these. He likes this. I did give it room to 11 just in case, but I said the stock would go to 850 and under. You see, and I always tell the trader that it's stupid. And so when traders see that in the room, they automatically attack it and they give it room. Even Steve B told everyone in the room, hey, give this room to 11. AJ's right. It'll probably squeeze and everybody will want to chase it to get in there. And so that's how fun it did. I'm going to give you another one, FFCSC. Okay, now I really want you to understand this because I want you to get inside of a day trader. And I want you to think like a day trader in all the other chat rooms. I know it's hard for you, but I have to. This is what people pay me for. I get in the mindset of all the other day traders in all the rooms. And what I mean by that is, okay, when I was coming up as a kid, all right, well, 38, 39, 40 years old when I was learning the game, because I'm 53 now. So when I was coming up, I used to be a chaser. I chase anything. Anything that looked good, I'd chase it, chase it, chase it, chase it. Oh my God. I didn't understand BIOS at all. I was just a deer in headlights 24/7. And I just, if somebody in the chat room said, oh, I'm along this, oh, okay, he must know what he's doing, even though he could be a newbie, you know? And believe me, times have changed. And so I'm looking at this and I'm reading the news this morning on FCSC. And the first thing I do is I pull it up and I see it's gapping up, right? We all know it was gapping up this morning, right? And so then I'm looking at the headline and I'm going, okay. Oh, you announce a collaboration with Castle Creek Pharmaceuticals. Okay, never heard of Castle Creek. So, okay, I really want you to, a couple things immediately. When I pulled it up, when I see this, I see talk, 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 which means the more elaborate it looks, the worse it is. The other thing is, what I want to know is, what are you getting up front? Okay, what are you getting up front before you do anything? What's your up front? Forget. Listen, I want to teach you something. You chat rooms in here, all 12, 13, and 14 of you, listen to me very carefully. Shut the fuck up and let me teach you something. Okay, write this down so you can sound important in front of your people tomorrow. Okay? It doesn't matter how much potential they could make. Listen to me. Write it down. I'm trying to help you so you can keep your subs. All right? It doesn't matter how much money potentially they can make. What matters to me today is how much they're going to get right now, this moment. Okay? So you can take this 135 number, you could take this 30 million, you could take this 20 million, you could take this 75 million, you could take this 750 million. But how much are they going to get right now? And this is where AJ Trader 7 comes in and does his homework. And so while you're looking at all of this, oh my God, 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 in your room, I look at this. That's all they got. $7.5 million. Okay? So to me, it's nothing but bullshit. 7.5 million on a small cap stock is nothing. That's, you could do 1 million shares in the trade and boom, you're already set. 2 million shares. If the stock does 30 million shares or 20 million shares, 7.5 is already swallowed up. All this is just noise. To me, it's a short. That's all it is. I just look at how much they got up front, and that's all I need to know. Now, if they had received 50 million cash up front, okay, Maybe I wouldn't be so more short-sighted if they had received 80 million up front. That's a lot of capital to the company. So that's going to go good on their books. So I'm going to give it value. You follow what I'm saying? But if you're only going to get 7 million, are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to short the shit out of the stock. So the first thing I have to tell the traders, go find the shares. But see, the problem is 90% of the chat rooms out there, I would say 95 to 99% of them, they don't see that. They're listening to their mod going, oh my God, this is such huge news. I chase this. So I have to anticipate the chase. I already know the stock is going to go to 210, 220. That's already given. But before I go there, I've got to teach the traders. Now you have to look at the mindset of a newbie, the mindset of all these small cap rooms that really don't really know very much. All right. And then you have to think like us. See, we're kind of like the mature traders. We're the daddies. All of us in our room, everyone that part of Awesome Calls Trading trades maturely. We're not children. We don't chase bullshit. We read through it. That's what makes us so unique. That's why nobody fucks with us, because we really see the reality of the trade. That's what makes us who we are. That's what separates us from everyone else out there. Okay? So now I want you to see how I wrote it up. Okay? FCSC. All right? I want to see the sheep chase it through 3. Maybe we might get lucky and get 350. Look for the topping on it and bleed it out to 210 and under. Let this set up before shorting it. And this is what I'm trying to tell, because I think we had 7, 8 new signups Saturday and Sunday. Monthlies come in. And it's really important because they're coming in from different rooms that I didn't want them to get in too quick, too fast. I want them to let it set up because we're going to get the chasers out of the gate. And I kept saying the more it pops, the better the fake. The stock has volume already in it, so let it rush. But the ultimate goal is the stock will close at 210. It'll be an all-day bleeder. You know what an all-day bleeder looks like? I'll show you. All right, so let's go find it. Let's go do it together. You ready? This is exciting, isn't it? It sure is. Because you're learning. You're a grown-up in here. You're mature. You're learning. Okay, here's where it closed. And you see how I teach traders the first gap? Look at that. See that 202, 220 area? So I'm liking that to come right around here. It won't fill the full gap, but at least if I could rewrite it, I'd probably put 220. But you see how initially it made its move? Now here's the morning. And I kept telling everyone, don't short it yet. Don't short it yet. Let it pop. And I actually went long. I played this. I got, I think, what was it, traders? 12 cents? 13 cents? I did 1,000 shares, and I popped it 12 cents, and I was out. I think I made, hold on. I'll tell you what I made. FCSC. I made $110. There it is. I played 1,000 shares, one-time hit. I made $110. And so what I did is I got my 11 cents. All right. And so once it started and it broke through this flag, it was done. And it becomes now an all-day pleader. And this is what an all-day pleader looks like. And by tomorrow morning, you will see this right around 220, if not by today. Again, when you do collaborations, you have to look carefully how they're written. Okay? And a lot of people don't. We do. Okay? And then I'm going to just throw in one last thing before I close out. I'm going to give you, I can give you 2 of them. I'm going to give you CLVS. Now, CLVS discontinued their phase 2 label clinic trial. So this was already gapping down from 23, and it was gapping down to 21 something. I believe 21.20. So I told everyone, watch for pop it open to 22, scale in short, and take it to 20. I didn't think it'd go any more, and you were only going to get 1 to 2 points. You see that? And then BPPTH withdrew their offering. Now, they closed at 1565, and they were up over 10 points because they withdrew their offering. Excuse me, but that is what you call stupid, stupid, stupid. Not because they withdrew their million offering, because you're gapping up 10 for that. So to me, the stock was worth $17 a share, but in pre-market, I mean, you have to understand, I was looking at the stock at $24, $25 a share, and I was looking for a sell-off for 17 and under. Okay, so I'm going to show you these two. It turned out BPTH stopped pretty much at I think it was 19, and then B Trades called it out to go long. But I really tried to get it to 17. You could see the sell-off right here. When I got in the pre-market, I started writing my notes down, and you could see at 4:30 in the morning, I was looking at this thing. I could not get shorts at TD myself, and if I would have 500 shares, 400 shares, I mean, you do the math. I mean, 24 to 20 right there is 5 points. That's 2 G's. You had to do thin. You probably had to do limit orders, or you can only do limit orders in pre-market anyway. But I really wanted 17, but this one really double bottomed. It really showed that it was fighting that 19 area, and they were going to take it back up. So once it broke through the flag here at 21, I actually played this. Let me see how much I made on this one. Did I play this? Hold on. I made $67. I think I made money, yes, but I think I was just a little hesitant, and I was chasing, and I was playing with 100 shares at a time. So anyway, I made a few bucks on it. So I wish I could have done more. And then FC, and then the other one was, what was it? I forgot the. Forgive me. Let me go back. CLVS, yeah. And then CLVS, I was looking at it, and again, this was just a decent read on it. I wanted to pop it open to 22, and I got 21.79, and then a room to 20. And I believe the Great Fire also went short on the first initial pull at 21.40, 21.38, and he yanked it down. He almost got a point for the room. So anyway, it was a good read on the stock. I think as much as I want to do a chart, I don't know if I can because it just moves so fast. But if you were quick to the trigger and you understood the play, you knew it was going to come down to the 20, so your short would have been perfectly right here, executed at 21.64. It was just an absolute, and then within 20 seconds of the opening bell, 5 minutes, you would have made a point. But you really had to be fast. So, and then shorts came in and covered it and then grinded it out. And you could see BPTH, which is, it's just no reason for it to be up. And I really feel the 17 area should be filled. So we'll see if it breaks this 19 again. And if it does, you can consider 17. So today's list, what didn't work was ADS. Just got a downgrade, and I just got in too early. I thought it would gap fill first a little bit, and then an all-day fade. It had a BMO downgrade to market perform. I was really, really shocked that the stock, this was my only loss of the day, and I ended up losing I think 2 points on it with, I think I had 125, 150 shares left, but I just made that money up on Jemiah, so I was really happy. So it's down like 300, and I got 318 on Jemiah. So I'm very, very, I'm just ecstatic because I really just got in this, and I actually went short here. I got myself a point or 80 cents or something like that, but I just got in too soon. I thought it would bottom curl and go up. A couple traders in the room nailed the bottom here on the initial pull to 164 and bounced it. And once it broke through this flag of 164, it was just, I believe a lot of people just went short, came down more. It was really frustrating because the stocks normally don't go this bad on a downgrade to 183, so I was kind of shocked. So this one I'm going to really study really hard, but 1 out of 13 plays, I can't say hey, what are you going to say? And last but not least, Lyft. Been telling you Lyft is short since the day it debuted. It's just my gut feeling. I hated the stock. I've been hating the stock. I will continue to hate the stock. This is not a second guess. Look at it now. Bullshit. This is AJ. I called it from day one. I've been one of the most advocate people on Twitter. more than probably anybody out there on any chat room saying this is going to go to $35 a share. And this has just been nothing but a debacle. I don't see any investors trying to buy this stock. Maybe at 50 level, they might bounce it. But, at the end of the day, I think when Uber comes out, I think this thing will go flush down below 50, if not already by then. And my goal is to get a fill order at $35 on a limit order. And I am adamant that it will hit that because that is what the stock was worth before it debuted. And that's what I said it was worth. And I'm going to stand by it. And I did it on Snap. I did it on Fitbit. I did it on GoPro. I called all three of those. And I called Lyft from 85, 88 and said, this is a joke. Do nothing more than short the stock. And I have been right ever since for 30 points, 33 points. Okay. All right. And so today I did call for a short in my pre-market notes to make up the ADS call. It was right here. And I even told everyone I would short at 59 today. And if it pops to 60, don't worry. This stock is going to $55 to 57. I was adamant today. Just don't ask me. I saw it. I visualized it. And the stock hit $55.56. AJ, Ali, and as I close out, we all are following this gentleman named Ali Biggs. He's a wonderful trader in the room. He's in a slump. Today we got him out of a slump. He thought he was going to have his third day being red, but that didn't happen. And what I love is Ali reached out to me, and I reached back immediately. And I told him long JMI, and he just put it in the room. AJ, I'm up $235. Round of applause to Ali Biggs, who's going to do an incredible webinar, who's going to mention 1,000 times AJ at Awesome Calls, the room. And this is what we do. We work with you. And you know what? When you're down on a trade, don't get in a slump. Don't worry. It happens, especially when you're learning the game. And it's a wonderful feeling when you start to see it. But when you do, the money's there. The market gives us opportunities every single day. It is up to us to capitalize them and to find them. It is up to me as, I guess, the professor of day trading. It is up to me to go find them, teach you, educate you. And that's why we do these free recap webinars. I want you to learn. I want you to learn so that way you're fishing for yourself. You're finding things for yourself like Christian and Brandy and Deb and all these great traders in the room and Steve Bees. And, I want everyone to be a moderator. I would love the room to communicate with one another, but you gotta walk before you walk fast. We don't run in here. We walk and then walk a little fast and walk a little fast. We never run. Try to avoid the home runs. They'll keep you in the business longer. And hey, this is a great job we have, traders. And all you have to do is learn it every day. So I want to thank you for joining us today on this wonderful webinar and Awesome Calls Trading. And I will see you tomorrow. We'll do this all over again. We have a short week, Good Friday, which is great. But so I have, 3 more days to make everybody rich. And that's what I will try to do. And I want to thank all the great mods in the room for their contributions today. The great Janny, Raphael, Darkside, Dave the Trader, Fire, B Trades, and Palmer. Thank you all. Love you all. Talk to you tomorrow.